Rebecca Harris is standing in the arrival hall of London Heathrow Airport on a cold Tuesday morning in November. She's holding a sign with her husband's name on it, "Welcome home, Daniel." But Daniel isn't on the flight. She checks her phone again. No messages. No missed calls. The last text she received from him was 3 days ago. "Landing soon. Can't wait to see you. Love you." That was from Istanbul. He was supposed to catch a connecting flight to London. He was supposed to be home. But he's not here. Rebecca approaches the airline desk, her voice shaking. "Excuse me, my husband was supposed to be on flight BA 680 from Istanbul. Daniel Harris. Can you tell me if he boarded?" The woman types into her computer, her face professional and detached. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't give out passenger information. But I can tell you that all passengers from that flight have deplaned. If your husband isn't here, he may have missed his connection." He wouldn't miss his flight. He was coming home. He promised. The woman offers a sympathetic smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "Sometimes travel plans change. I'm sure he'll contact you soon." Rebecca felt uneasy. This feeling you get when you're not sure of something, her mind keeps flicking through a lot in that moment. Daniel Harris, her husband of 8 years, father of their 6-year-old daughter Emma, was supposed to return today as promised. Welcome to Secret Witness. If you're new here, subscribe right now because this case will take you from London to Turkey and reveal an international organ trafficking ring that preys on lonely, desperate men. And to my loyal viewers, thank you for being here. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from, and I promise stay until the end because what happened to Daniel Harris will absolutely devastate you. This is the story of a man who thought he was flying to meet the love of his life. Instead, he was flying toward his own death. Let me take you back to the beginning. Daniel Harris and Rebecca Thompson meet in 2015 at a corporate conference in Manchester. He's 32, works as a senior account manager for a marketing firm in London. She's 29, a graphic designer for the same industry. They're both attending a presentation on digital transformation when their eyes meet across the conference hall. During the coffee break, Daniel approaches her. "That presentation was either brilliant or completely over my head. I can't decide which." Rebecca laughs. "Definitely over your head. But don't worry, mine too." They spend the entire conference together. Lunches that turn into dinners. Conversations that stretch into the early morning hours in the hotel bar. By the end of the 3-day event, Daniel asks for her number. "I don't usually do this," he says, suddenly nervous. "But I'd really like to see you again. Properly. Not at some boring conference." "I'd like that too," Rebecca says. They date long distance for 6 months. Daniel in London, Rebecca in Manchester. Every weekend, one of them makes the 2-hour train journey. They text constantly. Video call every night. Fall completely, utterly in love. After a year of dating, Rebecca moves to London. She gets a job at a design agency in Shoreditch. They rent a flat together in Clapham. Life is beautiful, full of possibility. They marry in June 2017. Small wedding, just close family and friends. Rebecca wears a simple ivory dress. Daniel wears a navy suit and cries when she walks down the aisle. They honeymoon in Greece. 2 weeks of sunshine, swimming, making love on secluded beaches, talking about their future. "I want to give you everything," Daniel says one night, laying beside her under the stars. "A home. A family. Everything you've ever dreamed of." "I already have everything I need," Rebecca says, taking his hand. "I have you." Their daughter Emma is born in 2018. Daniel is present for the birth, cutting the umbilical cord with tears streaming down his face. "She's perfect," he whispers. "You're both perfect." For the first few years, their life is exactly what they dreamed of. Daniel gets promoted to regional director. Rebecca goes freelance so she can work from home with Emma. They buy a house in Dulwich, a 3-bedroom Victorian terrace with a small garden. Emma starts school. They have family dinners every evening, weekend trips to the coast, annual holidays in Spain. By 2023, 8 years into their marriage, few cracks starts crashing in. Daniel's job has become all-consuming. He's traveling constantly, client meetings in Paris, conferences in Berlin, pitches in Amsterdam. He's away from home more than he's present. When he is home, he's exhausted, distracted, checking emails during dinner, taking calls during Emma's bedtime stories. Rebecca feels like a single parent. She's managing everything: the house, the finances, Emma's school schedule, the groceries, the maintenance, all of it. When she tries to talk to Daniel about it, he gets defensive. "I'm working to provide for this family," he says. "Everything I do is for you and Emma." "We don't need more money," Rebecca says. "We need you. Emma needs her father. I need my husband. I'm doing my best." But his best doesn't feel like enough anymore. Rebecca notices other things too. Daniel is on his phone constantly, but he angles it away when she walks by. He started password protecting everything: his laptop, his tablet, even his phone. When she asks why, he says it's for work security. "There's sensitive client information," he explains. "I can't risk it being accessed." It sounds reasonable, but it also feels like he's hiding something. Their sex life has dwindled to almost nothing. They used to make love several times a week. Now it's maybe once a month, and even then it feels perfunctory. Daniel seems distracted even during intimacy, like his mind is somewhere else. One evening, Rebecca's friend Claire comes over for wine after Emma's gone to bed. And they had some discussion which led into Claire asking, "How are things with Daniel?" "I don't know," Rebecca admits. "He's just distant. Like he's physically here but mentally somewhere else. And I keep thinking, what is really going on? He's become too busy for me and even Emma. I feel like he's doing more than a lot lately. I really don't know, but we need him more." "Well, that's true though. Have you asked him?" Claire asked. She reaches across the table and squeezes Rebecca's hand. "You have a beautiful home and a blessed union, so I feel you should communicate with him. You deserve to know the truth, get to understand him, and know how to sort it out together. Whatever it is, it's important you both work it out." That night, after Claire leaves, Rebecca does something she's never done before. She waits until Daniel is asleep, then she carefully takes his phone from the nightstand. Her hands are shaking as she tries to unlock it. His password has changed. It used to be Emma's birthday. Now it's something else. She tries their anniversary. Wrong. She tries his birthday. Wrong. She tries random combinations, and after the fifth attempt, the phone locks her out completely. Daniel stirs in his sleep. Rebecca quickly puts the phone back. But now she feels it. Something is definitely wrong, or he's hiding something. What Rebecca doesn't know is that for the past 6 months, Daniel has been living a double life. It started innocently enough. Daniel was feeling lonely, unappreciated, like his life had become nothing but work and responsibility. He missed feeling desired, feeling seen, feeling like someone actually cared about his thoughts and feelings. One evening, while on a business trip in Frankfurt, unable to sleep in his hotel room, Daniel downloads a social networking app. He's not looking for an affair. He's just looking for connection. Someone to talk to. He creates a profile. Posts a photo of himself from a few years ago when he looked younger, less tired. Within hours, he gets a message from a woman named Elif. Her profile picture shows a stunning woman, long dark hair, striking green eyes, a smile that seems both mysterious and inviting. Her bio says she's from Istanbul, works as an art consultant, loves literature and travel. "Hi Daniel," her message reads. "I noticed we both love Murakami. Have you read his latest book?" They start chatting. Just about books at first. Then about their lives, their dreams, their disappointments. Elif is easy to talk to. She listens, and Daniel felt the connection. She asks thoughtful questions. Daniel feel interesting. Within 2 weeks, they're messaging every day. Video call starts soon after. Elif is even more beautiful on camera. She speaks perfect English with a slight Turkish accent that Daniel finds enchanting. She's intelligent, funny, attentive. "You seem sad," Elif says during one video call. "What's making you sad, Daniel?" "I don't know. Life, I guess. I feel like I'm just going through the motions. Work, home, work, home. I've lost myself somewhere." "I understand that feeling," Elif says softly. "I feel that way too sometimes. Like I'm waiting for my life to really begin." The conversations become more intimate. Elif shares details about her failed marriage, her loneliness, her desire to find real connection. Daniel shares his frustrations with Rebecca, his feeling of being taken for granted, his sense that he's invisible in his own home. "Your wife should appreciate you more," Elif says. "You're a good man. A devoted man." "I try to be," Daniel says. "I don't know if it's enough anymore." "It would be enough for me," Elif says, looking directly into the camera. And Daniel's heart skips. After 3 months of daily contact, Elif suggests something bold. "I want to meet you," she says. "In person. I want to see if this connection is real or just pixels on a screen." "I can't," Daniel says immediately. "I'm married. I have a daughter. I'm not asking you to leave your family. I'm asking you to spend a weekend with me, to see if what we have is real. Daniel, I think I'm falling in love with you. And I think you feel the same way. All right, so when?" They make plans. Daniel will tell Rebecca he has an international client meeting. He'll fly to Istanbul for a long weekend. He and Elif will meet, spend time together, see if their digital connection translates to real life. Daniel books the flight. He rehearses his lie. He feels guilty but also excited in a way he hasn't felt in years. He has no idea he's being hunted. What Daniel doesn't know, what he can't possibly know, is that Elif isn't who she claims to be. Her real name is Eileen Demir. She's 38 years old. She doesn't work as an art consultant. She works as a recruiter for an international organ trafficking ring. For the past 5 years, Eileen has been perfecting her method. She creates fake profiles on dating and social networking apps. She targets lonely, successful Western men, preferably with good jobs, which suggests good health and healthy organs. She builds emotional connections over months, making them feel seen and valued. And then she lures them to Turkey. Turkey is ideal for this operation. Istanbul is a major travel hub. Tourists come and go constantly. The medical infrastructure is advanced enough to support sophisticated surgeries. And the right connections can ensure that local authorities look the other way. Eileen works with a network of people. There's Dr. Kemal Öztürk, a surgeon who was stripped of his license in Germany 10 years ago for malpractice but now operates a private clinic in a warehouse district outside Istanbul. There's Mehmet and Hakan, 2 brothers who handle logistics, picking up victims, disposing of bodies, managing the transport of organs to wealthy clients around the world. And then there's Eileen, the recruiter. The pretty face, the sympathetic voice, the woman who makes lonely men believe they're special. Daniel is her 6th victim. The first was a British businessman named Thomas. The second was a German engineer named Klaus. The third was an American consultant named Robert. The 4th and 5th were Canadian and Australian respectively. All of them followed the same pattern. Lonely men, online connections, promises of romance, flights to Istanbul. All of them had their organs harvested and sold. All of them died in that warehouse clinic. Their bodies were cremated in an industrial furnace. Their families were told they went missing while traveling. None of them were ever found. In the weeks leading up to Daniel's arrival, Eileen coordinates everything. She books a hotel room under a fake name. She arranges for Mehmet to pick Daniel up from the airport. She ensures Dr. Öztürk is ready, operating room prepared, equipment sterilized, buyers lined up for the organs. Daniel's blood type is O negative, universal donor. His organs will be incredibly valuable. Dr. Öztürk has already secured buyers. A wealthy Saudi businessman needs a kidney, 150,000 euros. A Russian oligarch's wife needs a liver, 200,000 euros. And an American tech CEO needs a heart, 500,000 euros. Total value, 850,000 euros. Split between Eileen, Dr. Öztürk, Mehmet, Hakan, and the brokers who connected them with the buyers. To these people, Daniel Harris isn't a person. He's not a husband, not a father, not someone with a life and people who love him. He's inventory. Daniel lands in Istanbul on a Thursday evening. He told Rebecca he'll be gone for 5 days, client meetings and strategy sessions. She believed him. Why wouldn't she? He's traveled for work countless times before. What she doesn't know is that he's not staying at the Marriott where his company usually books him. He's staying at a boutique hotel in Sultanahmet, the room Eileen booked for them. Daniel clears customs, collects his luggage, and walks into the arrivals hall. His phone buzzes. A message from Elif. I'm outside. I can't wait to see you. His heart races. This is real. This is actually happening. He walks outside into the warm Istanbul evening. The air smells like spices and exhaust fumes and possibility. And there she is. Eileen is standing beside a black Mercedes, wearing a flowing red dress, her dark hair loose around her shoulders. She's even more beautiful in person than on video calls. Daniel? She runs to him, throws her arms around him, kisses him on the mouth. It's passionate, overwhelming, everything he's been missing. You're here, she whispers. You're actually here. I'm here, Daniel says, breathless. Come, let's get you to the hotel. You must be exhausted from the flight. She takes his hand and leads him to the car. The driver, Mehmet, though Daniel doesn't know his name, loads the luggage into the trunk. As they drive through Istanbul's chaotic traffic, Eileen leans her head on Daniel's shoulder. I've been dreaming about this moment for months, she says. Me too, Daniel admits. I almost didn't come. I almost canceled a dozen times. I'm so glad you didn't. They arrive at the hotel. It's charming, intimate, the kind of place designed for romance. Their room has a view of the Bosphorus. There's champagne chilling in an ice bucket. Rose petals scattered on the bed. I wanted tonight to be special, Eileen says. They make love that night. It's passionate, intense, everything Daniel has been craving. Afterward, lying in bed with Eileen in his arms, Daniel feels alive for the first time in years. I don't want this weekend to end, he says. Then don't let it, Eileen whispers. Stay with me. Not forever. Just a few more days. I want to show you my Istanbul. The real Istanbul. I'd like that. What Daniel doesn't see is Eileen texting someone after he falls asleep. He's here. Everything is going according to plan. Comment, witness, if you're still watching. Because what happens next is where this dream becomes a nightmare. The next morning, Eileen suggests they spend the day sightseeing. I want to take you to my favorite places, she says. Places tourists never see. They visit the Grand Bazaar, the Spice Market, hidden cafes in Balat. Daniel is enchanted. Istanbul is beautiful, exotic, alive with color and sound and energy. And Eileen is the perfect guide, knowledgeable, attentive, making him feel like the only person in the world. That evening, as the sun sets over the Bosphorus, Eileen becomes more serious. Daniel, I need to tell you something. What is it? I have a health issue. Nothing serious, but I need to see a doctor tomorrow. A private consultation. I've been putting it off, but now that you're here, would you come with me? I'm nervous and I'd feel better if you were there. Of course, Daniel says immediately. Whatever you need. Thank you. You're so good to me. They spend one more night together. Passionate, tender, full of promises about the future. Eileen talks about maybe visiting London, meeting properly, seeing where this relationship could go. I think I love you, Daniel says in a moment of vulnerability. I know I love you too, Eileen says back. The next morning, Eileen and Daniel get into the black Mercedes. Mehmet is driving again. They're heading to the clinic, where Eileen has her appointment. Daniel notices they're driving away from the tourist areas into industrial neighborhoods. Where exactly is this clinic? It's a private facility, Eileen explains. Very exclusive. The doctor I see specializes in women's health issues. He's not in the main medical district. The explanation sounds reasonable. Daniel doesn't question it further. They arrive at a nondescript building. It looks like a warehouse from the outside. Inside, it's been converted into a medical facility, sterile, modern, with examination rooms and what appears to be an operating theater. This is impressive, Daniel says, looking around. Dr. Osterk is very skilled, Eileen says. Come, let's go to the consultation room. She leads Daniel down a hallway. They enter a room. Dr. Osterk is waiting, a man in his 60s wearing scrubs and a white coat. This is Daniel, Eileen says. The man I told you about. Daniel extends his hand to shake. Nice to meet you, doctor. Dr. Osterk doesn't shake his hand. Instead, he nods to someone behind Daniel. Before Daniel can turn around, Hakan and Mehmet grab him. One covers his mouth with a chloroform-soaked cloth. The other restrains his arms. Daniel tries to fight. He's strong, fit, but he's outnumbered and taken completely by surprise. The chloroform works quickly. His vision blurs. His legs give out. The last thing he sees before losing consciousness is Eileen's face. Not loving anymore. Just cold. Clinical. "Sorry, Daniel," she says without emotion. "But you're worth more to me dead than alive." Everything goes black. Daniel wakes up strapped to an operating table. His head is foggy from the chloroform. He tries to move but realizes he's secured with leather restraints. 4 lines are already in his arms. Panic floods his system. What's happening? Where's Elif? Dr. Osterk appears above him, adjusting a surgical light. "Mr. Harris, you're awake earlier than expected. That's unfortunate. The sedative should make this painless. What are you doing? Let me go." Elif, where are you?" "Elif doesn't exist," Dr. Osterk says calmly, preparing surgical instruments. "The woman you know as Elif is named Eileen. She works for us. She finds men like you, lonely, trusting, foolish men, and brings them here." Daniel's mind is racing, trying to understand. What do you want from me?" "Your organs, Mr. Harris. Your kidney, your liver, your heart. Your own negative blood type, universal donor. Do you know how valuable that makes you? Your organs are already sold. Very wealthy people are waiting for them." No. Please. I have a wife. I have a daughter. Please don't do this." Dr. Osterk pauses, looking at Daniel with something that might be pity. "I'm sure you do. And I'm sorry for them. But business is business. Your family will be told you went missing in Turkey. Perhaps they'll search for you. Perhaps not. Either way, they'll never find you. Your body will be incinerated. Your organs will be in 3 different continents by tomorrow evening." Daniel starts screaming, begging, pleading, promising money, anything, everything. Dr. Osterk administers the anesthesia. "Sleep now, Mr. Harris. You won't feel anything." Daniel's screams fade as the drugs pull him under. His last coherent thought is of Emma, of Rebecca, of the life he threw away for a fantasy. And then nothing. Drop a like if this is one of the most horrifying things you've ever heard. If you can barely process what's happening to Daniel. The surgery takes 11 hours. Dr. Osterk and his team work with precision. They harvest Daniel's left kidney first, carefully preserved in a transport container filled with cold preservation solution. A courier is waiting to take it to a private jet headed to Riyadh. Next comes the liver. The extraction is complex, requiring exact technique to keep the organ viable. It's packed in specialized container and rushed to another courier heading to Moscow. Finally, the heart. This is the most valuable organ and requires the most care. Dr. Osterk makes the incisions precisely, clamping and cutting, removing Daniel's still-beating heart and placing it in a state-of-the-art preservation system. Within 3 hours it will be in New York, being transplanted into a wealthy CEO who's been on the waiting list for years, but who has enough money to skip the line through black market channels. What's left of Daniel Harris is a hollow shell. His chest cavity empty. His life drained away. Dr. Osterk removes his gloves. Prepare the body for disposal. Mehmet and Hakan wrap Daniel's body in plastic sheeting. They load it into an unmarked van. They drive to an industrial crematorium on the outskirts of Istanbul, one that asks no questions as long as the payment is sufficient. Daniel Harris is burned to ash. The ashes are dumped in the Bosphorus Strait. No body. No evidence. No way to trace what happened. Back in London, Rebecca is frantic. It's been 5 days since Daniel left. He was supposed to return 3 days ago. He's not answering calls. His phone goes straight to voicemail. His work email isn't responding. She calls Daniel's office. "Hi, this is Rebecca Harris, Daniel's wife. I'm trying to reach him. He was supposed to be back from his business trip and I haven't heard from him." There's a pause. Then, "Mrs. Harris, Daniel wasn't on a business trip. He requested personal leave. 3 days. We assumed it was a family matter." Rebecca's blood goes cold. What? No, he told me he had client meetings. Where did he say? Berlin? No, Prague. Mrs. Harris, I don't know where your husband is, but he's not traveling for work. Rebecca hangs up. Her hands are shaking. She goes to their home office and starts searching through Daniel's things. She finds his laptop, password protected now, she can't access it. She finds bank statements that show a flight purchase. Not to Berlin or Prague. To Istanbul. And a hotel booking. Not the business hotel his company uses. A boutique hotel in Sultanahmet. A romantic hotel. Rebecca's stomach drops. Is he's having an affair? She whispers to herself. Did he lie to me and went to meet someone? But even if that's true, even if Daniel flew to Turkey for an affair, why isn't he answering his phone? Why hasn't he come home? She calls the British Embassy in Turkey. She files a missing persons report with the Metropolitan Police. She contacts the hotel in Istanbul. Yes, Mr. Harris checked in, the hotel manager tells her. 5 days ago. He stayed one night with a female companion. Then he checked out the next morning. We haven't seen him since. Who was the woman? I don't know, ma'am. We don't ask for identification of guest companions. Rebecca hires a private investigator. The same investigator she hired years ago to check on Daniel's background before they married. He's expensive but thorough. I'll find out what happened to your husband, Frank promises. But Rebecca, you need to prepare yourself. If he went to Turkey secretly, if he was with another woman and now he's missing, this might not have a happy ending. Frank travels to Istanbul. He retraces Daniel's steps. He speaks to the hotel staff, shows them Daniel's photo. He gets security footage showing Daniel arriving with a beautiful dark-haired woman. He follows their trail to the places they visited. He also starts digging into the digital trail. He hacks Daniel's cloud storage and finds the messages with Elif. Months of conversations. Intimate photos. Plans to meet. Frank contacts Turkish police. He shows them the evidence. And that's when a detective named Inspector Aydin recognizes the pattern. This woman, Aydin says, pointing to the security footage of Eileen. We've been looking for her. She's connected to several missing persons cases. Foreign men who came to Turkey and vanished. We suspect trafficking, but we've never been able to prove it. Frank and Aydin work together. They trace Eileen's digital footprint. They find the social networking profiles she's used. They identify other victims. They find the warehouse clinic. When police raid it, they found no one, but the equipment in the warehouse speaks a lot. They take FOT evidences checked around for security cameras, but they found nothing to prove this trafficking ring. Dr. Osterk is in the middle of harvesting another victim, a Dutch man who'd flown in 2 days earlier, also lured by Eileen. Dr. Osterk is arrested. So are Mehmet and Hakan. They all confess eventually. They give up Eileen's location. But Eileen has disappeared. She's already moved on, already creating new profiles, already hunting for the next victim. They issues a red notice. Their faces are circulated internationally. Inspector Aydin sits down with Frank and tells him the truth. Your client's husband is dead. His organs were harvested and sold. His body was cremated. There's nothing to recover. I'm sorry. Frank has to call Rebecca with the news. Rebecca collapses when she hears the truth. Not just that Daniel is dead, but how he died. The affair, the lies, the brutal harvesting of his organs. She has to tell Emma. How do you tell a 6-year-old that her father is never coming home? That he went to meet another woman and was murdered for his organs? Daddy went on a trip, Rebecca tells Emma through tears. And he got very hurt. And he's not coming back, baby. Daddy died. Emma doesn't fully understand. She keeps asking when Daddy will be home. When can she see him? Rebecca breaks down every time. The media picks up the story. British man murdered in Turkish organ trafficking ring. Daniel's face is on the news. Rebecca has to read articles about her husband's affair, about his naivety, about how he flew to his own death. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. And if this story made you think twice about online relationships, about trusting strangers, about how deadly loneliness can be, hit that like button. Thank you for watching. For staying with me through this international nightmare. Subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next case.